Hey, what's happening everyone? SirJames coming at you guys with another video, and hopefully you guys are looking forward to the upcoming Assassin's Creed Origins. Well, in today's video, I'm here to break down the different weapon types that we will have access to in the initial game, and of course a few other things along the way. So let's go ahead and get this started. Now, of course, in the game we will have access to both ranged weapons and melee weapons. For ranged weapons, we have about 4 different types of bows, while for melee, we have quite a handful actually that we get to utilize during combat. So first off, let's go ahead and start with the bows. The first type of bow that we have access to is known as the hunter bow, which is a traditional bow and arrow. The next one after that is known as the warrior's bow. What makes this one different is that this one's more like a shotgun type bow, allowing you to fire off multiple arrows at your target. The one after that is known as the rapid fire bow, which of course will allow you to shoot arrows quite fast. So think of it as of a mini Uzi, if you will. So in my opinion, I don't think the rapid fire bow is going to be as effective as a hunter bow or even a warrior's bow, but again, it's going to be interesting to see how that incorporates into gameplay. And of course, the one after that is known as the Predator bow. You may be familiar with the E3 gameplay demo where at the end, after he fired off the bow, you were able to control the arrow to the target. That's basically where that bow is going to take place, which is basically a sniper rifle type bow. So that's going to be, again, interesting to see how that incorporates into gameplay. Now, as far as the melee weapons go, we have quite a bit here. Our first options, of course, if you like to take on many foes at once and maybe go for a little bit of a challenge, especially for those that are armed to the teeth, you could always go for the traditional hand-to-hand combat. However, if you want to use weapons, these are your choices. We have, of course, the sword and shield option. We have the spear, heavy blunt weapons such as a mace, for example, heavy bladed weapons, and an axe is this example. We also have a scepter and a dual wield option, which will feature 2 short swords. And of course, as far as attacking goes, you have the difference between light and heavy attack, and of course, depending on what weapon you're using, you'll be able to unleash combinations. Now, the other main thing as far as combat goes is that it's going to be a bit different compared to the previous Assassin's Creed games, because as far as the previous Assassin's Creed games go, it was usually more focused toward like a one-on-one, even if you're kind of huddled in a giant group. Here, depending on the type of weapons you use and who's around you, the weapons will be a little bit more effective. So in this example, if you're using something like a spear and you are surrounded by a group of enemies, you can expect that your spear, as you're flinging it around, is going to hit multiple enemies rather than the one target that you are currently focused on, which is definitely a nice change of pace here. And of course, also to keep in mind is that the game is going to be featured towards a RPG type element here, so meaning that the weapons will have a variety of different levels and stats, and there's going to be all kinds of different ones that you find as you continue your playthrough, and even some of which will contain attributes. Attributes like fire, for example, or even poison, which can be highly effective. But again, I definitely can't wait to see how this goes down. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and are you excited for Assassin's Creed Origins? Again, also let me know. Until then, I am SirJames from Gamerfuzion.com, where we empower your gaming.